And we are live. Welcome to the Stubzcast, the Stubzcast-07, the Content Creator Hub podcast, where I talk to other content creators from YouTube, bloggers, vloggers, and also podcasters. Anyone who's deemed a content creator about their journey into content creation, sharing tips and tricks. Welcome, PunchNpie. How are you
Hey,
coping in the lockdown world?
hey, I'm good. I'm really good. I mean, as good as I'm gonna be. I barely left the house in the last month. I
Wow.
probably have lived in my underwear for the last month, to be honest with you. So, but yeah, how are things for you?
Yeah, it's all right. I can still leave the house despite not being an essential worker because they've shut down non-essential shops and gyms, cafes, etc. But when it comes to factories, they haven't and distribution centres, they haven't actually said you have to close as such. You know what I mean? So I've still got to go to work, but I should be stopping work next week because where I work, we're starting to run out of parts and bits to pack. If you know what I mean, because they
Oh
all come
wow,
from a lot of the screws and bolts etc. They all come from China and Taiwan,
right?
so with the supply chain starting to slow. If you know what I mean. So
Absolutely.
we're just going to get put on that. In Britain, they're calling it furlough. The government's giving you 80% of your wages, so that should be all right. You know,
That's great. Yeah, that's really
not,
good.
it's not
Yeah, I
bad.
mean, yeah, I haven't worked in a month. Basically, I
Wow.
do audio for sports and conferences, and everything got canceled. So it's just playing the waiting game right now until everything opens back up again.
Oh, exactly. I mean, hopefully it's not too long. But I haven't actually experienced the quarantine life yet. You know, where you're at home every day. I'm actually dreading it because it's coming soon to me. I'm dreading
Right.
it to be every. At least I can leave the house and go to work and then come back. And I used to hate work. I was like, oh, I bloody hate this job. Now I like I like going work. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people have said that. I hate my job, but now all I want to do is go back to work. You
Go
know,
back to work.
you know.
Man, no, it's crazy. And you know what? I thought I was gonna have all this free time to be super productive and work on the house and spend time with the kids and make more videos. And I swear, it's like I'm just busy juggling two kids. You know, it's my wife and I have a system because at this point there's no reason to rush to bed every night. So we're usually up till 4 in the morning watching Netflix or doing whatever. And she'll sleep until maybe like 8:30 when the kids wake up in the morning.
Oh, okay.
I'll sleep until like 10:30 or 11. I'll get up and then she'll go and take a 5 hour break and nap in the middle of the afternoon and then we do dinner and get them to bed. And it's like it's super like low key. There's neither of us are having like bust our asses on taking care of the kids. So it's working, but you know, this isn't forever. So we'll have to get back to a normal routine again.
Well, that's quite a good system. That is. I mean, how are you finding homeschooling?
Well, so my kids are young. They're 4 and 1.5. So
Yeah, so mine's 5 and 2. So my boy is actually at school, so they don't make the work too intense. It's like reading and writing and little. They don't force you to do all the required work because with homeschooling they can't force you.
right.
Because it is a lot. It's a big adjustment for a child because child associates home usually with playing and fun, don't they? A little bit of
Exactly.
homework. It's not something we're used to. But he's gradually getting better at it, if you see what I mean. And
Yeah.
we've bought additional stuff to like cope with it and make it more fun. Because they send all this stuff home, and you've got to have a printer. Like, a lot of this stuff you got. Luckily, we've got a printer. You know, but it's all adjusting to it. Because I read an article that said it takes 6 months for a child to adjust to homeschooling properly.
Wow. I didn't know
Apparently,
that.
some children don't adjust to it. There was a study done into it. It's just a thing. They're used to going to school, don't they? Kids are,
Right.
or nursery. Nurseries are different. They don't send work home. You know,
Yeah,
but yeah,
absolutely.
but it's a crazy way. It's just crazy. Hopefully, it don't go on for too much longer.
No, they actually said here the rest of the school year is canceled. So it's all.
They haven't gone that far here. They haven't. Yeah, they keep saying May now. They do.
Yeah, we just got pushed back till the end of April. So basically, the 1st of May is when they're going to lift the stay home. But I have a feeling that it's not going to be. Yeah, our state, Michigan, we actually have, I think we're top 3 of cases and deaths. And the doctors, it sucks. So the doctors are saying that we are basically going to hit the apex next week of infection. So we haven't even hit the worst of it yet.
Well, I mean, that is actually what apparently. I try not to read the news because it's depressing.
Yeah,
it is. I try not to read it. Sorry, my son was running in the room. I try not to read the news because it's quite. That's what they've said. The apex is next week.
Oh, you for the same for you guys?
Well, the Britain, they keep saying it's going to peak next week, but they keep saying it's going to peak and then it doesn't peak. So
right.
Who knows what's
just consistent.
True? But we'll have to see. We will. Welcome, Michael Monkey Punch, and welcome, the Indie Gamer. Thanks for stopping by. Right.
You know what?
Yeah.
I was going to say real quickly. So I'm new to this to the StreamYard that we're using here. I don't see the chat. Should I have a login?
No.
Or
go to the right hand side.
Yep.
Can you see a bar that says comments?
Live comments. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It's a new program. It's basically a good replacement for what's it? What was it? What do we all used to use?
Google Hangouts.
Google Hangouts. That's it.
Yep. All right. Yeah, we got Michael, Indie Gamer. What's up, guys? How you doing today?
I've got a question that I forgot to put on my list. How did you come up with PunchNpie?
So this is a good one. And what's funny is at the beginning I could not figure out a name, and I was like, I want something that's not video game related, but something that I thought was hilarious, and if people got it, they would know it and they know it's funny. So did you ever see the South Park movie from like 20 years ago?
I probably did, but I probably forgot. I probably have seen it.
So
there's about salty balls, was it? No.
No. so they when they were going to war with Canada, the kids started La Resistance, and they put on the flyer, there's gonna be PunchNpie to encourage the kids to come to this like resistance meeting. So that's where PunchNpie came from, and it's, if you know the scene, you know the line in the movie, it's hilarious. And I just went with that. And the funny thing about that is people are like, oh, you're just trying to be PewDiePie. I'm like, no, I'm not even a fan of PewDiePie. It had nothing to do with it at all. No like influence by any means. It was just one of those things. And yeah, I started with some other names. They're awful. I didn't want to just use my name. So I was trying to come up with something like weird and funny.
Yeah, that's a really good story. That is. I mean, I just literally popped into bed. I looked at your logo. I was like, I didn't ask him how he come up with PunchNpie.
Yeah,
very good story. Because how I come up with Stubz Gaming, it's not a good story, really, to be honest.
It's a better name, I think.
I definitely think it's Stubz in my gamer tag, and I went with Stubz Gaming.
Gotcha.
It's not very creative, really, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I maybe I'm just hard on myself, but I think you have a better name than me. So so hey, UK Dazarus, what's up? What's going on? Anyways, I'm noticing, and I'm sure you're having the same exact issue as me with small kids. Your mic is muted, probably because your kids ran the room. I had to have the hardest conversation. No, it was your kids. Happen. Yeah, no, don't. You're fine. I was just saying, I had to have a long talk with with my daughter about it. I'm like, you've got to promise me, like, just give me like 2 hours to myself today. I need it. She's like, but I want to play with you. I'm like, dude, we've been playing for a month. I'm like, you've been glued to me for a month. I'm like, you can go 2 hours without me right now. So yeah, no, I totally get it.
Oh, my Indy wants to know where I come from, does he? I come from the East Midlands area. I live near a place called Leicester. I live in a county called Rutland. We're the smallest county in the UK, I believe.
Oh, I'm awful at geography, so I'm just going to open up a map and look.
Yeah, it's like a rural area. We've got like a big Rutland water. We have it's quite basically. We live in the sticks. Our nearest city is like 20 miles away.
What county is it again?
Rutland.
Rutland.
Yeah. So it's historical. A lot of historical places.
Okay.
Going back. It's not not where you. Oh right, sorry. Where do you come from, PunchNpie?
Oh, I'm from Michigan. I'm right outside of Detroit. If you're familiar with the United States, but who asked that again? That
The Indie Gamer.
Indie Gamer. Yeah. So you have quite the UK base with the other creators that you work with. Is that just coincidence, or just kind of or did you plan that because you guys found each other locally?
I mean, I got to know a lot of the creators through just basically going to YouTube channels, and I used to be part of not the channel, but I used to be in the DM, and I got to know a lot of creators through Twitter. I got to know the Indie Gamer through Twitter, and UK Dazarus, and some of us are part of BG4G now, and that's how I made a lot of my connections through Twitter. To be honest, I know people call it toxic, but that's how I made a lot of the connections, and through commenting on people's videos. That's how I made a lot of connections. I mean, I have actually got planned to do a lot more American-based guests like yourself as well, because there's a lot of creators out there, if you know what I mean. Like next week, I've got a
endless
called Chubba. He's part of the Gears community. I got him on next week. I have. So
cool.
I'm broadening it. It's not just UK based. It's where anyone who wants to come on, if they're interested.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So I I try to watch some other channels from around the world. There's a couple Japanese vloggers I watch. One, yeah, but here's the funny thing about it, though, is one of them is a girl who I coincidentally, only after watching her videos I found this out, is from a city that's about 20 minutes from me. And she moved to Japan, and she vlogs there. There's another vlogger who is a Canadian who his parents were Indian immigrants to Canada, and then he lives in Japan and vlogs there. So, and there's a couple Australian vloggers who one of them now actually lives in Texas. So he moved out this way. His channel's massive though. He was a lot smaller when I first started watching him, and that's Wood Hawker from Beat 'em Ups. I'm not sure if you're familiar or not. Now his channel's all Nintendo Switch. It's all he covers. So it's gotten kind of boring in my opinion, but his stuff used to be great. And I'm trying to think, are there any others? I don't know, probably. I try to watch, it's funny. I still watch YouTube as a fan, even though I create content, because I don't feel like I'm of any relevance yet. So it's, being small, it's not, I still watch a lot of YouTube as a fan, which I think is important. So.
Well, it is to get a variety of content. You've done well. Congratulations on hitting the 1,000 subs.
Thank you. Yeah, it's what's funny is I think the quarantine's helped. That's for sure. And there was a video I made a couple months back about Animal Crossing and the Switch Lite, and that game came out a couple weeks ago, and that video has just been blowing up. It's anywhere between 150 to 300 views a day on that one.
Well, that's good. That is very good.
Yeah. It's whether I'm going to be able to keep up with this momentum is I'm not sure. It's funny. YouTube will tell you that they've said that being monetized doesn't help traffic, but I don't believe that. So I think once I'm approved for monetization, we'll see if we'll see if traffic increases, because if that's the case, then obviously being monetized is beneficial to both me and you too, because then they'll make money, because that's what they care about, making money.
It would make sense for once you're monetized for them to push you, because the more people watch you, the more, you'll make a little bit in revenue to start with, and they make money, you will win, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a whole ball of red tape. YouTube is, to even understand it. It is.
Oh, it's so confusing.
It changes on a daily basis. It does.
Yeah, and what's funny is that not funny, haha, but just it's almost silly, is that right now they basically have bots that are moderating all the videos, and there's a YouTuber I watch.
Bots have always been doing that for years. AI bots can actually suspend your account.
Yeah, but it's gotten worse, and to the point where they actually have openly said, "We're really sorry. There's gonna be videos that are gonna get possibly demonetized or taken down when they're not supposed to be, because of these bots." So there's a YouTuber, Jared Dines, who has like a music channel, and he has a video that has 10 million views on it, and they just removed it, saying that it violated their guidelines, and it was literally a video about how to scream in metal music. That's all it was.
No reason to remove that.
No, exactly. So 10 million views on this video, and then they just decided to remove it. And they said it violated. There's nothing about it that violated. The point is, though, is that literally they're removing videos that create revenue for them that have not violated anything. It's getting pretty ridiculous on the platform. We need another option outside of YouTube, and there will never be one, because Google has too much power.
Amazon could have done it, but they've chose not to. They own Twitch, and they could just expand Twitch into video, but they haven't. So
I don't get that either. I've been waiting for that.
Cash and the money. They have the money to go toe to toe, and they chose not to. They could go head to head. They've got the cloud. Yeah. They've got Amazon cloud as well, haven't they? That's quite a massive business. So they could. I've got the power. Just do a monetization program and go head to head, but they don't want to, obviously.
Yeah, it's insane too, because they would create so much more traffic onto their page with that.
Exactly, they would. Anyway, do you want to give everyone a brief description of what your channel is, just in case?
Sure. Yeah, we're only 20. We're only 20 minutes in. We might as well do that. I mean, hey, listen, we could keep going with the conversation. I don't even care. But yeah, anyways, my channel. In a nutshell, I guess you could say video games and Pop-Tarts. But there's a variety to it. And I think I mentioned this before, but I don't even really have a niche for what I do, because I do everything from unboxing and reviews, game hunting, and retro game store tours.
I love your retro game stores.
Yeah,
videos are awesome. I enjoy them.
Yeah, and I love doing them, and it's really a shame that I haven't been able to do any in a while. But that and Pop-Tart reviews, which obviously seems really random, but we'll get into it later. Why I actually do those. So
they are very good. They are.
Yeah, I know. but yeah, it's I don't know. I almost think that's kind of the problem with my channel, is that there's too much variety, because I feel like the channels that succeed are the ones that do the same three things over and over and over again. Because
see, here's the thing. It's you got a niche, yeah, I agree with you. But apparently, when you hit the upper echelon, when you've got 80, 90, 100,000 subs, YouTube actually tells you to expand your horizons, because it's about you. You're the brand. You shouldn't be locked into a niche, and they tell you their own advice is you need to expand your horizons. But when you're starting out, they don't tell you that. They say you need to niche down, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah, and maybe that was maybe I did it backwards. Maybe I should have just done the same thing over and over again.
I personally think your channel works. I just think you need more views and more subs, because you deserve it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, because you are very, very talented, to be honest.
Well, thank you.
You put a lot more. You do a lot of better job than me. My last video was last year. I haven't made one since. I've just been doing Stubzcast. I'm
Yeah,
writing. I'm trying to write stuff for BG4G Hub.com.
I mean, that's good though. It's you've got something that you're good at. This show has got a really good structure to it, and you do the big thing that you do that I feel like I would never be able to stick to is you stick to a schedule, and not only a schedule, you stick to an exact time to start. Because
I do try, but tonight was the first time it messed up. My wife now realised my boy came downstairs, and she's like, "Oh, sorry." She's like, she fell asleep, but she's awake now. But that's the first time that's ever happened on the Stubzcast.
Absolutely. Oh, we got some comments.
Welcome, Removable Sanity, and welcome, Bearded Mac.
Yeah. One comment was, the problem with doing a bit of everything is people sub for a type of vid, and then you make a different type of video, and they unsub because it wasn't what they wanted, and that is so true. So
it is.
I'm gonna touch on that. So some of my highest traffic videos are reviewing those crappy Chinese Nintendo Switch controllers, like all the third-party ones you find on Amazon and eBay and the like. And some of them have upwards of like almost 30,000 views on them, and people will sub from some of those videos, and then they're not watching the other stuff because they just want to see, crappy controller reviews. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying, where it's like, I almost have to just review crappy Nintendo controllers if I want to keep them like watching my stuff when they sub. But luckily, the video that got me hundreds of subs the last like couple months was that Animal Crossing Nintendo Switch one. So, and that was more of my regular kind of videos where it's kind of like talk about a topic and how I feel about it. But
yeah, have you got? Yeah, you have got that. You've been playing it. You have. Have you going live?
Yeah.
YouTube's not letting people know.
Like, oh my God!
They've probably not letting people know about this. So tweet it out if you can, people, please.
No joke, and that's what really sucks, is because there's no excuse for me to not be streaming every night. But if they're not going to let my subscribers know in a subscription feed, like, what's the point?
Exactly.
It just sucks, because it's like, even when I had 300 subs, if I posted a live stream, you open up YouTube and go to the subscriptions page, it would show up in there. And I haven't tried in like a week and a half. Maybe they fixed it, but when you and I were tweeting out about it, whatever that was, like a week ago or so, that was when I just kind of gave up. And it sucks because, once again, we're at home, we're doing nothing. There's no reason not to be streaming.
Yeah, because Boom does 5 days a week podcast on his channel, and he tweeted about it, and his ain't going live to all his subscribers either. And so that's why he brought it up, and that's why I tagged you in it. I was like, "Oh, PunchNpie is having the same problem,"
Yeah, so it
seems like every time they do something right, they do something to screw everyone over. They change something, don't they? Oh,
absolutely.
It's more like something they've done.
Yeah.
When they fix it, oh, sorry, it was a bit of a glitch or something. You can't prove it, can you? I mean,
No, and you know what? And it's like, we tweet at them, and I'm sure they're busy and understaffed, and they have people working from home and the like, but it's just, they never respond to issues ever, and it's unbelievable. And we're like slaves to their system. We depend on them, and they do not care at all.
Exactly. You're right. What's up, Invader Gaming? How you doing? But no, you're right. I mean, YouTube, you basically got to follow the rules and do the best you can.
Yep.
It's one of them things.
Absolutely. So I don't know. I just and I'm really bad at social media. I'm not gonna lie. And so my Twitter following is really bad, which is, I don't know.
I actually looked, and I was surprised. I can't remember how many people follow you. There we go. Wait a minute. Yeah, you've only got 131 people following you. I was really surprised. For some reason, I've got 501 people following me. So that's what I've done.
Well, you're a bigger deal than me, obviously. So
I'm not. I don't know why people follow me. They just, anyway, Everyone in chat, please follow PunchNpie. Let's keep.
Right.
5 more people.
Maybe I'm not edgy enough and controversial with my tweets. So
Well, I don't anymore because a lot of people get loads of followers by engaging the fanboy wars, on Twitter. I don't get involved no more. A lot of the time I don't even comment anymore.
right. Oh, hey, Indie Gamer, thank you. I appreciate the sub. Already following you on Twitter. Awesome.
Here's a good question for you.
Yeah.
Where did you get into gaming? Was it as a child? Or...
So yes, yeah, and I kind of feel lucky that it happened the way it did. So in like 1987-ish, if my memory is correct, my grandpa bought Nintendos for me and all my cousins, and he bought 4 like NESs for each family of cousins and one for himself actually.
Okay.
And
nice,
oh, very much so. And I didn't realize this, but it was really thanks to him that I was first exposed to gaming at home. And he loved playing Nintendo, and he only played Nintendo Golf and Burger Time, but man, he was so good at Burger Time. Like to this day, I could never play Burger Time as good as he plays Burger Time. Oh, when he did play Burger Time.
I best look it up.
Do you not remember Burger Time, the old classic arcade game?
I was born in 1984.
No, you should definitely. Yeah, I was born in 82, so I feel like you. I'd be surprised if not.
I'm going to have to go and look this up now. I'm going to have to look
definitely
this up. Burger Time. I take it was a good game.
It was a game of the times. So here's what's funny is they actually did a remake of Burger Time that came out recently, and I downloaded the demo of it, and it felt like it had the charm of the original, and it still felt like you're playing Burger Time, and it was better, but it was still the same game. And it's just one of those classic 80s arcade games made by Data East, the same company made like Rampage and all that. Back when like arcade games were like really good still. And the arcade games, I feel like in the 90s, it turned into like sports games and fighting games, and that was it. Which is not a bad thing, but that was, before it was like those platformer arcade games in the 80s. So, and all of them got ported to the NES, which was great. We all thought they looked awesome on Nintendo back in the 80s. You go back and look, they were awful. So,
yeah, a lot of kids need educating now. When you come and see these Fortnite games, you should take them back and show them what games used to be like. And they're like, wow, it's amazing now.
It's unbelievable. And what's funny is like even my 4-year-old, and don't judge me for this, but she loves playing like the Assassin's Creed games, and she doesn't care about the fighting aspect of it. She likes the adventure and climbing and all that.
Yeah,
she can maneuver a 3D game like it's no big deal. I try to have her play like a classic like 2D side scroller, and she's confused and doesn't know what to do with it.
Wow, I mean, I've actually been getting my son to play some games recently, and he tries. I got this one level put on for him. It's a kids game on Xbox. Now I can't think of the name of the game now. It's a real kiddie game. It's in Game Pass. I'll have to come back to that. I will.
Okay.
He can't finish the level, but he's quite happy to run around as a little gecko character. Ukulele. Ukulele. That's it.
Yep. Absolutely.
He never completes the level. He just runs around and jumps, and he's happy enough doing that.
Exactly. But it's just funny though that she gets the mechanics of that, but it's the side scrollers that she doesn't get. Like I try to have her play Shantae, which I think is on Game Pass also, and it's like going left and right only. She's like, why can't I go in this building? So they were born into a world with games that are just they don't know the struggles that we had as kids.
No.
So
Sega Mega Drive for me, it was. Or Sega Genesis over in America.
Yeah, no, I definitely know the Mega Drive, but it's you know what? I would love to own a Mega Drive just for the just like as a collector's piece, because it did look different. The fonts were bigger on it. the color was slightly different. There was, I think you guys had like a red ring on it, which we didn't have, or something like that. I don't. I'd have to look it up, but
Yeah,
I digress.
it was. Yeah,
It would
but
just be cool to own one. So
I don't own one anymore. They re-released them, but it is something that I would like to probably get at some point, an old Sega Mega Drive, and get some games. But there is actually a retro shop opened up in my town, but obviously all the shops are shut now.
right,
Might be reopen again. He might not reopen, if you know what I mean. You'll get a lot
yeah. So
that won't reopen, you know.
did the Mega Drive had support for SCART, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was. Oh, Scott. No, it was a. I couldn't tell you what connection. It was a weird connection. It was like
Okay.
it looked like an aerial adapter, kind of weird adapter.
Yes.
It wasn't SCART.
Okay. It was an RF adapter.
That's
I know.
I'm
Yeah.
terrible what they're called.
No worries. I remember that some of the European consoles had SCART compatibility, which actually made them look significantly better than what was released in the U.S. and Japan. So it gave you guys I'm not sure if it was more frame rate, not more. I'm sorry, I wasn't sure if it was more resolution, but I think it was like richer colors because of it. So
no, I don't know. I just remember playing it. But you'll laugh though, because my dad, he bought us this is the funny thing. He bought us the Mega Drive, but at night time when we went to bed, we had to carry it all downstairs with the TV so he could sit there all night playing it.
that's great. I have the same exact story. So that's when we got the Nintendo, I was only like 5 or 6, and so I played it, but it was my dad who was playing Super Mario Brothers on it. And I remember when he finally beat Mario Brothers for the first time, and you're at that end screen where you saved the princess. He left it on for days on the TV, so he could just look at it. He could just switch over to channel 3 and see it again. It was most definitely his system before it was my system. So.
Well, I had the same problems with the PS1 and PS2 as well.
Yeah.
But he was like, bring it down for him. I used to bring the TV down for him and he used to play it. Whose is it? Mine or yours? You're supposed to be asleep anyway.
I love it. It's funny. It's like I always see those memes about what our generation is going to be like in retirement, and there's going to be like old folks home just full of game consoles, and we're just going to be.
They will be.
They have to.
You're right. You're right. It's all fun. Oh, UK does. I knew you'd say that. You mentioned the princess, didn't you? Super Smash # Super Smash the Princess. He's put. That's a good story. That is.
SNES for the win. You know what's funny is that, I was the weird kid that got the Super Nintendo in middle school or elementary school, and when everybody was getting Sega Genesis, and even like my friend's mom asked me, she's like, "Why did you get Super Nintendo and not Genesis?" I was like,
"Really?"
She like. And Genesis was really successful in the States. And
someone's mum asked you.
Yeah. I don't know why I remember this question. I was probably like 8 or 9 years old. I was like, well, everyone else has Genesis. I wanted Super Nintendo, and I like Mario. So.
Oh yeah, fair play. Welcome, She's Now Elite. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, no, I'm just surprised you would remember that.
I have a weird memory. I remember some of the strangest things.
I do. It's normally things where a family member's or parent has fallen over or done something funny. I have a very good memory when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, people failing at life.
Right. What's your favorite gaming genre, would you say?
My favorite gaming genre. Oh boy. Well, this is a tough one. So, because I feel like I'm all over the place, and I guess I love third person action games, whether they're linear or open world. And at the same time, I also love Japanese RPG games, which are obviously drastically different. And then like Persona and Dragon Quest and the like. And then I also love like sports games, especially baseball and hockey games. It's
Okay.
but it's weird. I know that's like a really weird combination. And I'm in so many like Facebook groups, like gaming groups,
Well,
and
it's good, you know.
well, and the thing is that there's like everyone always bitches and complains in there, like the diehards, like gamers, that sports games aren't real video games and you should feel stupid for buying them. And I'm like, well, I like all the games you like, and I like the sports games. So where does that put me? I always feel
Well,
like an oddity that I like sports games as much as I like every other kind of video game.
I don't feel bad because you got to look at FIFA. It's one of the biggest games in the world for sales and making money. Because them I'm not saying you buy them or play FIFA, but them FIFA, what people pay real money, don't they, to get better at FIFA, and they make billions out of that stuff. You know,
absolutely, yeah.
The sports games are big business. You know, they
absolutely.
Are. You get called a casual. You know, you're a casual. That's what
you're called exactly. You're called a casual, and I promise you, it's not casual. Well, no, it's funny too because like before like I got married, my wife, who at the time my girlfriend, our roommate, and we would have the most competitive like NHL matches, hockey matches, like playing like every night. It would just be like so aggressive on the couch together, and it was honestly some of the most competitive gaming I've ever done. And it's people don't realize that it's people really get into the sports games, and it's at the end of the day, it's a role playing game if you think about it, because you're playing the role of somebody else. So
you're right. Well, it's nice to have a good variety of games, because it was one point when I was literally boxed in, and I just played Gears, and now I actually play I haven't played Gears in months. I want to play a new Operation.
Yeah.
But now I actually play I'm playing the new game. Have you heard of Dragoon?
Yeah.
I'm playing that at the minute.
Cool.
And I'm playing trying Hitman 1 at the minute. I'm trying a variety of different games. Because you can get boxed in as the term goes. You know.
Absolutely.
But you're definitely not boxed in. You've got a very good variety of games.
Right. That and I'm also addicted to Animal Crossing. So that's a life simulator. Like that broad range right there, it can't get any broader. Hockey, Animal Crossing, third person shooter, adventure games, and Japanese RPG games. So I'm all over the place.
Well, I bet your PlayStation gets used a lot then.
It does.
A lot of JRPG games on there.
Absolutely. You know? Yep. Yeah, and you know what? It's a shame. Unfortunately, it's that way because all those Japanese developers, the Xbox obviously just never sold well in Japan.
No, they are making strides in that area. They are trying. You know,
they are trying. Yeah, Phil is definitely working on it. From what he's been saying,
I think he's been working on it for a couple of years, but they're patriotic people, though, aren't they? The PlayStation's Japanese, isn't it? So it's going to take him a while, but I think he'll get there in the end.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is people don't realize it. The Nintendo Switch has sold 4 million more units in Japan than the PS4. So,
well, I can actually believe that, because from what I understand, in Japan, the biggest gaming market is actually mobile and tablet.
That is correct. Yep.
It's like they've actually now. I don't know if people know this, but they've actually released Xbox Game Pass in Japan now and South Korea.
Oh.
And it wouldn't surprise me if the xCloud is coming to Japan as well, because they reckon the South Korean program done very well because of the tablet side. You know, you don't have to use the Xbox controller. You can use any controller you feel. You know, a PlayStation controller. Basically, most of them you can use. You don't have.
That's awesome.
You don't have to use an Xbox controller per se.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I
don't know how we ended up there, but
no. I mean, that's how my brain works. Literally, I was about to say that I'm strongly considering getting a a 1X. I have a 1S right now.
Oh,
They just dropped the price on them here in the States. I don't know if it's globally or not.
yeah, I think they
But
dropped them here, but it's not a what's it called? Not a thing I can afford. You know, I've got 2 Xboxes now, but I think it's part of the what's it called? Discontinue program, basically.
right, yeah, because they
I
have it
think
for
that's what's happening.
all the bundles are $299 right now for an Xbox One X, and because basically what they're saying is that all the Xbox Series X games will work on the One X for the first year it's out.
Actually saying that they work on all of the consoles, not just the One X. The
Oh,
S,
really? Okay.
and even the OG, but it looked rubbish.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But it's just one of those things where it's like, for that price, I could probably sell my 1S for like 200, and then I'll be $100 out of pocket. And it comes with Star Wars. I still haven't played that game yet, and so I don't know. I'm actually considering it because I'll probably just because I'll probably get the PlayStation 5 at launch and then the Series X afterwards. So that way, at least I'll have the second best Xbox experience for that first year.
Exactly. You know, I mean, that is what I was going to do, because I don't plan to get to the Series X to at least 2021.
Yeah.
And by the looks of it, it might be the majority of people might be getting it then. Just got a few shout outs. Welcome, Michael. How you doing? Welcome, NLG. How you doing? And welcome, Rosie Bomb. Just like to give people a shout out for coming.
Absolutely.
I think if the new consoles do come this year, there'll be very limited numbers. You know, the majority
very much so.
But they'll be getting them next year. Most people will be. You know.
Yep. And
sorry.
I was just gonna say you saw that last video of mine where I talked about how they really should be delayed, in my opinion.
Yeah, you got started on in your comment section for saying it. You were con this expert. Come on. You know.
Yeah, it's oh my god, the people were just.
You only have to look at what's
about
happening.
it.
People are losing their jobs, getting laid off and stuff. It's obvious the economy is going to suffer. You don't have to be an expert to see that, do you?
No, not at all. And honestly, my views and my opinion, I was basing off the actual like facts that are being reported, and not only that, my opinion was based on the consideration of humanity, basically, like the fact that, just like what you said, people are being laid off. The economy sucks. It just seems like a bad time to release these consoles, and I couldn't believe the hate I was getting for that video. I didn't think I did anything wrong in that video. I could be wrong, but so
you didn't do anything wrong. But that's just the way the people are, you know. There's always one person that's got a nitpick, you know.
Exactly. It's funny too because I've started to anyone that's like a dick in my comments, I politely put my foot down. I called them out for it. So, you know, I'm not going to be one of those like YouTubers that ignores negative comments. But, like, listen, if you're going to be a dick, like, I'm going to respond to you because it should theoretically make them kind of like back away because they think they're commenting and no one's going to talk to them about it. But I'm going to talk to them. If you're going to say something about me that's like shitty and it's almost not true because all you looked at was the thumbnail and that title, then like I'm going to stick up for myself because it's just weird especially because I'm just a normal person. I'm not this big YouTuber. I was literally sitting on the couch reading my 1.5-year-old a book when I saw that comment come in. I'm just like, dude, are you serious? I'm sitting here reading my kid a book and you're like attacking me and you didn't even like watch the video. So I was like, this is dumb. Like, I'm going to stand up for myself. I don't care.
A lot of people do that. Don't read the video. They don't actually look at the video. They just look at the title, then start on you in the comments. Don't act like, did you even watch the video? Well, no. And so they didn't. It's the way it is, though. There's nothing you can do about it. There's morons everywhere, isn't there?
Yep. But I just gotta get a thicker skin and move past it. So
exactly. So here's another question. I know we haven't got to the content creation bit, but it's more of a gaming question. This one.
That's okay.
So what's the biggest change you've seen since you started gaming? And I know it's a hard one because a lot has changed. You know, in the past 30, 20 years, it has. You know.
Yeah, you know what? When you actually, I don't know if we should admit this, but you sent me these questions ahead of time just so I can kind of prepare.
A lot of people I'll do that. You know?
And I really like this question because I was able to answer it pretty easily because the big generational difference is online competitive gaming. And something that I never got into the way that like people in their 20s are and younger. So like I used to work with this guy. He was about 10 years younger than me. And he only played online shooters, like mostly Call of Duty. And he would buy Call of Duty every single year. And he would never play the campaign. And all he cared about was the competition aspect of it. And I found that like so strange because I always like the Call of Duty games. I always think they got these really good like 6 to 8 hour like single player campaigns, and they're like action packed and they're fun, and there's usually a good story along with it. And he wasn't interested in any of that, and that's pretty common with younger gamers is they don't care about the story. All they care about is getting online, prestiging, and just competing and being the best at that.
You're gonna laugh now. When I was going back a few years, or let's say, God, even back 2010, I was married then, but got married that year. But 2010, 2009, let's say around Modern Warfare 3 area, Black Ops 4, things like that.
Yeah,
I never played the campaigns. I just whacked straight online with mates and played multiplayer. That's all I was interested in. Honestly, that is exactly all I was interested in. I was one of them people. I'm not one of them people now, but that's all I enjoyed was prestiging. I never master prestige. Most of my mates master prestiged. You know, I used to be like that. But I'm not no more.
That's funny.
Because that's all I did. You know.
You know what? It's funny that you say that because now that I think about it, I think what got me into the Call of Duty games was Modern Warfare, but I never played the story. A friend of mine brought it over, and we were playing it on 360 online, and then also like couch co-op. And I kind of fell in love with it from there, and then I played the story. So maybe kind of the same, where I got into it because of the competitive aspect of it, but it was really the story that kept me wanting to buy the games every year just to play through them. And I really never played much Halo online. I was kind of late to that, but when I got 360 at launch, I think it was Quake 3. I played the crap out of that online. So that game I played a lot of online deathmatch with that one. I liked Quake 3 as a launch title on the 360. I don't know if you played that one.
Yeah, I did play Quake 3. Yeah.
So that's my fondest.
I wish they would bring it back.
Absolutely.
I'll make a new version. Is it owned by? Am I wrong? Epic Games? Am I wrong? Probably.
Yeah, it's Epic Games. Yeah, it's Epic Games.
All they interested now, but is about Fortnite, making that Fortnite money, making them billions. That's all.
Yeah.
You know.
You know what? Let me double. I'm curious because I thought that it was.
They were meant to be bringing it back, a PC version. I don't know if they actually brought Quake back or not. But I do know, I'm sure there's a way you can play Quake 3 through the web browser.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it used to be Quake 3. Quake is... Quake is ID Software, NLG has said. Thanks for that.
Yep, ID Software. So it's software.
Bethesda owns it. Oh, I didn't know that.
Bethesda owns it. Yeah, because they make Doom and Wolfenstein.
I don't know why I thought Epic Games owned it. I don't know.
It was because basically there was Quake and Unreal Tournament, and they were both in the Unreal Engine, and they were basically the same engine. And so I'm surprised they haven't, or at least. Now, I'm not sure about this because I haven't played any of it, but does Doom have multiplayer? Because I feel like Doom multiplayer would be really like deathmatch would be really similar to what Quake 3 was like.
Daz in the chat, has it got multiplayer? He loves Doom Eternal. He's completed it twice. He will tell you.
I know I need it. Trust me, I need it. And I love the music from Doom. I think I just love that kind of like that kind of metal that I forgot his name, but the composer the soundtracks that he wrote for those games are amazing.
It does have multiplayer, he said.
So I have to believe that the multiplayer is very similar then to what Quake 3 and 4 were like, because it was just fast paced and gory and no deathmatch though. Oh, all right, well,
okay.
Well, it needs deathmatch. That's my opinion.
Probably does, I don't know. But yeah. So no, you're right. The online is the biggest change. Would you say that the shift between physical and digital is extremely hard? If you were to ask me 15 years ago, Stubbs, 15 years from now, you'd be downloading all your games. I would have laughed at you. But now I only buy digital versions now, and I don't use the discs.
Yeah, you know what?
Numbers. I'm telling you now, the numbers are massive on digital, and they companies like Xbox and PlayStation, they don't actually release their sales figures for digital sales. Now, if you were to see them, you'd see them in the millions.
Right.
And you see physical sales like they always bang on about the UK sales charts, and they're like 20, 30,000. Well, you tell people they're all digital. Well, no, they're not. Well, gaming's dead then, because if that's 20,000 per game, everyone's on digital, nearly. They've got to be now, haven't they?
Yeah, I don't like it.
I know. I agree with you. It's just a thing I've got used to. You see, because technically you only own a license to the game.
Exactly.
Game. So say you've got your Xbox and it's unplugged, or so your old games, and you got a disc, you can still play it. Well, if it's downloadable, you can still play it if you've got your Xbox set up correctly. But it ain't like you can say you've got a back catalogue of like 400 games sitting on your shelf. It isn't like you can whack any of them in and play them.
Right.
But if you got a disc like you can,
Yep. Yep. And it's I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this. Is that so? I remember with Xbox 360 buying the arcade games, like the smaller ones. Things like Uno and downloading demos, and I never
that game.
I know Uno was the best on Xbox 360. So, but it's really weird because I feel like, yeah, it was really the tail end of last gen where you could really I was able to grasp the idea that you can download a full game like from the store on either PS3 or 360, and really this gen is where they've really pushed it. And to me, it feels weird. I don't know. I like the idea, and I'm just old school. I like the idea of having the box and putting the disc in. And obviously, there's this amazing convenience of having it already loaded on your system. But it's one of those things where it's like even my kids, like not the youngest, but the 4-year-old, like she knows that the games are on a disc. I've taught her that way. It's not something that you just digitally download. So it's almost like she gets confused when I'm like, oh no, it's already loaded on there. You don't actually have to put a game in. Okay. So I'm trying to teach the old school ways before we teach the.
Oh no, you are right, because it's here's my feeling. Once GameStop is gone, because it's going to come
very soon.
Even Game in the UK, they're not owned by GameStop, but even they've literally the start of this year they were bought by Sports Direct, so they were on the house. They got purchased, and they recently announced they were shutting another 30 to 40 stores. But after this fiasco is all over, who knows if they may keep more shut, if you know what I mean. But once them old stores, you're right, are gone, what will happen to physical? I know you can buy them from like your normal shops like Tesco's out in America, it's Walmart, etc.
Right.
But what's the future? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
As they say, brick and mortar stores are gone. Physical, I mean, do you see what I'm saying? You still need places to sell the games and places to sell the consoles, don't you?
Yeah,
You can't
absolutely.
totally rely on Amazon, can you? You know,
It makes me sad because
it
I'm
is.
a collector at heart, and I grew up in a cartridge generation that moved to discs, and I've always just having a physical item always has just been part of gaming to me. You know, whether it's on a shelf or in a box, it's your collection of games, and it's one of those things that I've let go of it with movies, but with games I just can't do it.
Yeah, you are. I actually have to. I have most of the Gears games in physical. I haven't got Gears 5 yet in physical. I've got Gears. I've got Gears 4 in physical. Gears 3 in physical. I've got to check if I've got 2 and 1. But I'm going to make sure I've got them all eventually. Just
Yeah,
because I do like to have some of them physical. I probably won't use them physically. To just there. You see. Do you know what I mean?
right.
You got some empty boxes. Somebody. I'm like, not want your discs. Do you know what I mean?
Indie Gamer says, "Save the planet, go digital." LOL. Yeah, well, you know what? Save my
Tech,
collection. Keep it physical.
yeah. Technically, when you look at that aspect, it goes save the planet. But then you've got all them data farms. You know, them big warehouses for the servers that are killing the planet. So there's two tacks there, isn't there? But from a waste perspective, yeah, go digital to save the planet.
Exactly. It's one option or the other.
Exactly.
Oh man. You know,
Yeah.
it's funny too, and I guess the last point I'll make on that is I kind of like that Nintendo went back to the cartridge with the Switch because it adds to the charm of it because it makes it technically, yes, it's a handheld and also a home console, so they've always done cartridges with their handhelds, but the fact that it's technically a home console that uses cartridges again, there's like this nostalgia about it that I find just so charming, which makes me love the Switch. I have issues with the Switch, don't get me wrong, but I do love the Switch. But we can save that for another conversation.
I mean, it is something I plan on getting in the future. I have got a Nintendo 3DS, but I always have the 3D bit turned off because I can't see it.
Yeah,
It gives me a headache. It does. I need to play it more. I do, to be honest. I've got
it
Super Mario 3D, Donkey Kong, and all that. I need to get Animal Crossing because I think I messaged you and like you'll have no life yet if you buy Animal Crossing. You'll play it.
that
You just take over your life and consume it. You'll get addicted to it. You're like,
that is a fact, actually.
yeah.
Yes.
It wouldn't be
It's
that
like,
expensive, really, on the
oh my god,
on the old 3DS, the DS copies. In a minute, it would
yeah,
be. Everything's expensive at the minute.
it's true.
Yes.
Yeah, now that 3DS is really kind of dying out, I'm occasionally if I see games cheap, I'll pick them up just to kind of like thicken the collection, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's gonna. Nintendo always has like weird spikes in its collectability appeal. I remember when the SNES Classic came out, all the SNES games like spiked in value because people wanted to play the originals and not on the classic. And then when the like 64 right now is really hot, GameCube is really hot to collect for, so those are really expensive systems. But
Oh,
like any NES and Super Nintendo now have come down in price. So if you're looking to collect those systems, now's a good time to buy games for that.
okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. Collecting's a weird thing because it's a market that it's. I still haven't figured out all of what affects it because it's just a lot of it's a hype thing. It really is a hype thing. I guess you could say the same thing about the stock market, but I don't
Exactly.
follow that either.
No, I don't. I don't either. So, right. Have you got any more comments on that question?
No, I mean I do, but we'd be
You,
here forever.
well, you can keep going. Keep going if you want.
Nah, no, I'm good. We can move on.
Okay, so what made you get into content creation in the first place? Into this mad world of YouTube?
You know, this is a funny one, and this was actually the first Stubs cast um, that You did the.
It was by a BG4G hubcast, weren't it? And they jokingly put the stubzcast on it, and I actually called it a stubzcast. But I never planned on it ever becoming a podcast in the future.
Oh, really? Okay. So what was episode number 1? Who was on that? Was that Tom? I think or.
Sorry. Well, I thought you were on about the previous podcast.
Oh no, I'm talking about this specific series.
Oh, this specific one. Yeah, no, it was Tom Wilde.
Yep, Tom. So I remember you asked Tom this question, and I thought that to myself, like that was the question I took with me. I'm like, what made me want to do this? And so, so the funny thing about it is my first video idea came like 4 years ago, when I was watching all these other YouTube channels doing Oreo reviews, like of the Oreo cookie reviews.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing is, like, I've never been I like Oreos. I think everyone likes Oreos. You're like a terrorist if you don't like Oreos. But really Pop-Tarts are always my thing. And I thought it'd be kind of funny to do Pop-Tart videos. And it was just an idea, and I never really did it. And so when I started my channel like 2.5 years ago, it kind of came back to me, and I'm like, I should totally do like the Pop-Tart videos. And we did one, and one turned into 2, and then we stopped for a while because I was like massively fat and I had to lose a bunch of weight. So I did that, and then we slowly been bringing them back in. But it's I don't know, it's funny. It was like funny enough, like the Pop-Tarts thing, but I don't know. I kind of treat YouTube the same way I always looked at music. So growing up as a kid, I loved music and I wanted to play music. So I started playing music. I started writing music. I just, you want to replicate this media that you like in your own kind of way. And then once I got it really into YouTube around 20, I always watched YouTube. I never really watched YouTube content creators until like 2012. Okay. And after years of watching them, I just kind of, I was like, I want to try doing this. Like, there's so much stuff like this. I feel this would be fun. I can do this. It's not gonna be as good, but let's give it a shot. And that was kind of like how it all started. So,
yeah, that's quite a good story on that. That is, I mean, it's quite interesting how people actually give it a shot. Because you get all different various stories, don't you?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
It's very interesting.
And it's funny too, because I think we're going to get into it later, but like what channels inspired me.
Yeah, you can crack onto that question if you want.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it piggybacks it, because the next question you have is what inspiration or what inspired me, and I feel like you could really see it in a lot of my videos, and because the first channel that I really got into, where I binged it, I remember all summer binging it, was Angry Video Game Nerd. And I loved what he was doing, because he was creating these censored video game videos about reviewing like these classic bad games. And that was my huge inspiration for Horribly Unplayable, which I want to bring those videos back, where me and, a friend, usually Aaron,
I do.
We'll play a crappy game, and it's just like, unfortunately, it's just being stuck inside. It's, as much as I've been curating the list of games to like bring back that series, we just, with self-quarantine, you can't be near anybody. But so that, and then old IGN I used to love, when Greg Miller and Colin Moriarty were still with them, and all the shows that they would do together on IGN. Back then, IGN had a personality. They had stars, and Colin and Greg left and started their own company, Kind of Funny, doing their own videos from their apartment, and that blew up. And Colin eventually left and started his own company again. But that, and then like the small channels, I say small, but they're massive now. Review Tech USA, Woodhawker, Beat 'em Up.
That's how I heard about you.
Oh, is that? I forgot all about that.
He gave you a shout out.
That's right.
He was like, these are channels you need to check out, and that's how I actually found out about you, was via him. But he stopped doing it because some of the channels he was recommending were getting crap, weren't they? I don't think you did, but some of them were getting crap because he recommended them. You know?
Yeah, no, actually, I all positive from it. I couldn't believe it. The funny thing is though, I was surprised how little traffic I got from it because the video had like at the time I think like 25,000 views,
Yeah, it did.
and
I think.
and I I'm not complaining it by any means because I went from like 170 subs in 2 days to like almost 300, and so it was cool. But I was surprised how little people actually reacted to the video and went to go check out the channels. But isn't that funny though? Like we were watching a video of his. Remember that? Like it was like a Wednesday night, and Anna, my wife, was like, she's like, email him your channel. I'm like, are you sure? She just do it. And I do it. And we're at dinner like 2 days later on Friday.
Yeah.
We're out to dinner with my dad and my grandma. And I start getting notifications of like subs. I'm like, all these subs are coming in. I'm like, what's happening? And I was like, whoa. And then it literally clicked. I'm like, I just sent that email 2 days ago. And I went to YouTube. I pulled up the video and he gave me the shout out and I like lost it. It was an unbelievable feeling. And I actually haven't talked about this in so long, but it's, I don't know, it's really funny because it just, I couldn't believe that he actually thought that I was worthwhile enough to like do that for. But I don't know, it's great. And I really appreciate what he did. And it really, I don't know, it just really helped because out of it, I met two fans that have been with me like since then, Dave and Rob, and I know I feel really close with them because of it because they found me through Review Tech, and you obviously I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had no clue. So I guess I have three people that like
never actually told you that though, but that's how I found. I mean, the other channels that he recommended, I did look at, but they weren't. I didn't think they were very interesting, to be honest.
That's incredible.
But I always forgot to tell you that's how I actually found the channel. I don't
my God.
I don't actually watch him anymore because he's more negative than anything half the time. He's trying to get clicks, you know. It's the way it is.
I know.
But
then unfortunately though, that's when you're a professional YouTuber, it's like you gotta play the game if you want to feed your family. And exactly. He's got, he's married with kids. It's like I gotta get it. Like, yeah, I don't watch his videos as much as I used to, but like I have to understand and respect what he's doing because he's playing a system that he has no control over. He's doing what he has to do to get paid. And a lot of people rag on people for that. And I think that if I was in my early 20s and I was still calling people posers and I didn't want to sell out and all that crap, it's like I would have a different perspective. But it's like you get older, you have kids, you have family. It's like you understand like what people are doing.
I suppose when you get to that level, you've got to do it. But it's just the hate. I don't understand the hate he gets all the time. Why do people just go on people's channels and just hate on them?
Yeah, I don't know what's so hateable about him.
I just don't get it.
It's so silly.
It's when you're up there with that kind of sub numbers, you're going to attract trolls, aren't you? Sadly, Yeah, sorry to I just want to tell you that I was one of the people that found you through Review Tech USA.
That's so funny. I love it. Thank you. I love it. That's such a good story. Like that. I don't know what else to say. I'm lost for words now. Now the guy that never shuts up doesn't know what to say now.
But yeah, YouTube inspirations wise, did you have any others or?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've knocked you off course then. Sorry.
No. It's another one that actually. This was the channel that really pushed me to wanting to do this, and it was the Game Chasers. Okay, so you're not familiar with them. No. This channel deserves millions of subs, and they only have like 130,000. Their content is the most professional quality content, and what they do, they have game hunting videos, but they shoot and edit their stuff like the show American Pickers. Like this show should be on television. That's how good of the quality Game Chasers episodes are, and You check out Lamar Wilson, and it's like, yeah, Lamar Wilson. I love Lamar Wilson, Indy. That's great. Lamar is so funny too, and if you like Lamar Wilson, you should check out all of his guest spots on Austin Evans' tech channel because oh my god, Lamar is hilarious. He's just so funny. Like, so he's the kind of like funny guy where he makes fun of himself. Like, I always love that kind of humor where people just laugh at themselves.
Yes. Now I know who he is. Now I have subscribed to him. He's very funny.
Yeah, and it's a shame that he doesn't make a lot of videos anymore. I don't know what he's doing with himself, but he's got a really tight relationship with Microsoft too, where like there's always a brand ambassador that brings new like stuff to his house for videos. Like, that's how tight he is with Microsoft. But yeah, check out the Game Chasers because they're
subscribed to them, so I'm going to check them out. It looks good. 129,000 subs, it says.
Yeah, so I was close. I said 130, but I don't understand it because their stuff is just so good. It's so professional, and it's awesome. Yeah, he's always getting new Xbox gear straight from them. Yeah, so it's
because he was the guy. I don't know whether it was rigged, but like it probably was staged. But I think he got a new Xbox One X or something, and he like drops it. I don't know whether it was staged or not, but he fell over when he was getting the box. So I don't know if he staged it or not, but it looked real. Like, he literally dropped it and didn't mean to. Like, he fell. I can't remember. I'm sure he fell over or something with it, but I couldn't tell if he'd done it on purpose or not. You know,
right?
Funny, you know.
Oh, that's so funny. Love it. He's just so funny. You know what? He does a lot of physical comedy too, which is kind of a classic thing. You don't see a lot of that anymore.
You don't.
He's good. I like Lamar. I guess he should have been on my inspiration list because he was one of those channels I was watching like right around my time of starting YouTube. But oh boy, so it's funny. I feel like I'm taking over your show here because now I'm looking at your questions, like what I should do next.
Yeah, but you are the guest. No?
So your next question, what are your goals content creation wise? And I like this one because I will be brutally honest with you, because I would be lying if I didn't say I would love to make a living doing YouTube, right? Everyone wants that, you know. It's honestly, people are full of shit, you know. No offense if they say they haven't thought about the dream of doing this professionally, but
a lot of people, it's what everyone says. But they want that. They want to sit at home and do videos, and
of course, who wouldn't want to do that? That's insane. Like, it'd be a dream come true. But in all reality, like I do like little goals, you know, my small goals. So right now is just getting the channel monetized this month. And ideally, I just want to kind of bring in some extra revenue and put it right back into the channel, just so I can like afford to do more unboxings and reviews. And then when we're out of quarantine, be able to afford to do more game hunting videos where I can actually buy.
I love your videos when you're gaming. I do. I think they're great.
I want to do more of those, and it's just like, unfortunately, it's like it costs money to do that, and I'm trust me. And my goal right now is not to line my pocket with money. My goal is to literally just put it right back into creating content. And I really want to get a new camera. And my camera's quite a few years old, and it's just I just want to get like a newer Canon DSLR that can shoot in 4K. And I might not even do like 4K content per se, but if I film in 4K, it gives me more options with when editing, because you can do like edit zoom ins and stuff like that, and it won't get grainy and blurry. It just, you know, little things just to improve what I'm doing. But yeah, that's the goal right now. Just get approved for the monetization and just make a little money so I can make things better. You know, invest in my brand. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's good that is. But I do like the addition that it's quite sweet how you take your daughter on your gaming hunts as well.
Yeah.
That's the question, because you actually have your daughter in your videos, which actually surprised me, because a lot of people wouldn't want their kids in their videos. Is it a thing you and your wife talked about? You know.
Yeah, we definitely did, and I don't know. I kind of feel like her and I have like a funny dynamic together where
you do, definitely. It's lovely to see. It is.
and I feel like it's entertaining. And beforehand, I thought about them like, oh, I would never put my child out there. But it's just like, honestly, you can go to my Facebook page and see my kids. So what's the difference? You know what I mean? Like, we live in a world where there's no privacy. I'll just embrace it and make the best of it. So it is what it is. Don't worry, I got a 9mm under my bed if someone tries to break in. So
see, that's the thing about America, isn't it?
I know, right?
It is. Whereas I haven't. I've got a dog, and if you see me, you wouldn't want to mess with me.
Oh no, dude! I have a poodle and a Bichon. My dogs aren't doing shit if someone breaks in.
My dog's a golden lamb. She's lovely and soft, but imagine if she got a bit of a vicious bark if she doesn't know who you are. You know.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I believe your dog would. Yeah. I would depend on your dog more than my own dog. So.
Hopefully neither of us ever need that situation, you know.
Exactly.
You know. So.
Oh man. Well, okay. So. Oh God, I'm sorry. You're the host. I keep doing this. I'm so sorry. I'm so used to being in charge of this stuff, you know, and having to like lead the role, but I don't have to be.
So, what are your struggles? And I wonder if you match some of our previous guests on what you say. So what's your creation struggles?
So my biggest struggle creation-wise is location. And what I mean by that is when I first started the channel, I had like an office studio. It was like my game room and music room, and I had all these awesome backdrops and my game collection shelves and all that. And yeah, exactly. And then I had a second kid and I had to give up that room. And now I'm stuck on my couch. Which I find my family room, although my family room is kind of nice and I like it, it's comfy and cozy. I feel like on camera it's kind of drabby looking, and I light it. I use big LED ring lights and it's nice and bright. But I'm stuck having to do all my videos after the kids go to bed now because there's no privacy. And so my struggle right now is time and location, and it really sucks. And I was throwing around the idea of maybe like renovating a part of my garage into like a studio, but it's like that costs money, and I don't know. But yeah, that's really my big thing is location. I feel like it cheats my videos out of being better because it's not like where I am on camera isn't that awesome as it used to be.
Oh yeah, I thought your videos look all right. Sitting on your sofa look good.
Okay, well that's good. I'm glad you're letting me know that.
yeah, they are good. You know, obviously I know you'd love to have your room back again, but maybe doing your garage may help.
Yeah, absolutely. The other option was my parents offered in their basement. They've been trying to finish their basement for 15 years. Oh. My mom's like, well, maybe you could come over and help your dad finish like putting up drywall in the basement. You can put your studio down there. And I'm like, you guys live 20 minutes away. It's like I have to plan so accordingly to make content over there. Like plan ahead, go over there. It sounds like a great idea, but at the same time, it just sounds super tedious. Because at least it's like when I'm home, I can just pull out my camera and tripod and lights and just set it all up and be done, and then sit on my couch and edit. With that, you have to not only go over there, but then I have to move all my games over. I don't want to do it. It's too much. I don't want to do it.
That does sound like a lot of work. 20 minutes away as well.
Yeah, exactly. Each way. No. But yeah, so I don't know. I'll figure it out. We're kind of outgrowing our house. Not gonna lie. We only had one kid when we bought it, and it's small, and there's three small rooms. Actually, you know what? The other option we talked about this was, I know this is getting way off topic here.
You're fine.
But we were talking about like once I call him a baby, but he's a year and a half old. He's not a baby anymore. Once the toddler is
Maybe he's 5.
Once he's out of the crib, we were thinking about doing bunk beds in my daughter's room and having them share a room for a couple years, until like we're in a position to sell and buy a new house, and then I get my room back. I mean, it's an idea. I don't know. I feel like you can have a boy and a girl share a room if they're that young. So
you can't at that age, because where we lived previously, my son's 5 and my daughter's, well, she's 2, and they shared a room. And it's took a bit for my daughter to adjust that her brother's not in the same room as her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she used to come out at night, and I think knowing he was there, she used to sleep through the night. She's getting there. She comes walking into our bedroom, in the early hours, and I think it's because she used to look over and she could see him asleep.
Right.
So, but yeah, they're both in separate bedrooms now.
Yeah, I would be doing the opposite. So.
But yeah, it's, you have to think about it with your garage or putting them into the same bedroom and getting your room back.
Yeah, I want my space.
Man cave.
Exactly. So, yep, that's my struggles. I don't know. Other than that, I think we talked about earlier. It's just consistency of topics. It's because I do the variety. I'm all over the place, and it kind of sucks because I how do I say this? I don't really know like if a video is ever going to do well. I always get surprised when like, oh, this video is doing really, really well. But now that I have almost 200 videos, I can go back and look and be like, okay, this does well, this does well. It's like maybe I should only do these kinds of videos, but I like doing other videos. Like, and the funny thing is, did you watch the video game meme video I did a few weeks back?
I need to watch that.
Okay,
I haven't watched that one. I've watched all your new ones, but I didn't get to watching that one.
So no one watched it, and the thing about it is that when I finished editing it, I watched it before I exported it. I was like, this video is hilarious. Like, my wife was off camera, mic'd up as like the producer, like feeding me the content, like the memes as I was looking at them. Yeah. And the banter between us, the way I edited it was real. It was actually like, in my opinion, my favorite edit I've ever done. And it's got like, that video's got like 38 views, which is very strange. Okay. And it sucks because it's like, in my opinion, that was one of the best overall productions I've done, like post-productions I've done on a video, just because of like the way I put it all together with the memes, and it's hilarious. And it's funny because it's like videos that I thought were like, all right, are the ones that are doing the best. And it's just like, shit, I put all this work and effort into so many. That other video I did, I did 2 videos.
Do you tag?
I do. Oh yeah, I tag.
You do tag. I'll just check it out.
Oh yeah, I do all the tagging. And then there were 2 videos I did when I was in New York City a couple months back, and the first one was a vlog of like the first few days there, and then the second one was a store tour of the Nintendo New York store.
I actually watched both of them.
So, did you like the vlog? I thought that was hilarious. Like,
yeah, I loved it.
And that video's got like maybe 60 views on it, and it's a shame because like that one I put so much effort into like the editing of that one. And but of course the Nintendo store tour video is got 10,000 views or whatever on it.
Wasn't there? Well, I'm sure you had people complaining because you didn't put the camera at every single little thing in the whole store, did you?
No.
I'm sure I've seen people nitpicking. Oh, why you didn't show all of it?
Yeah.
So that was a really good video as well.
Yeah, I looked at everything that I found interesting. There has to be a happy medium between making content for yourself and for other people.
Exactly.
And and if you don't align with what I find interesting, there's a million other channels you can watch. It's not. I would love the support, but I mean, like, at the end of the day, you're watching me because you sync up with what I find interesting. That's the whole point of it. I don't watch a crappy TV show because everyone else likes it. So it's the same thing. It's just like I know I'm not for everybody. Don't complain to me that I didn't take a picture of every single Yoshi plush they had there in the bin. You know, it's like
that's what some of them wanted you to do.
I know.
If you want to see it, go yourself, or there's probably someone else that's already done it. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing is I watched some of the other ones, and everyone else had its own personality, and that's what you should have. It shouldn't. I'm not a documentary like filmmaker. It was my experience at the Nintendo store. It was me. It was me talking about when we were looking through the historical like all like the old systems, and I was telling my friend Justin who was filming like the history of all this stuff. Like that's to me what I thought would be the interesting part of the video is so it's like you would watch my video because you get my perspective on everything at the Nintendo store, and it's so different than watching another channel. So, but yeah, it's I don't know, people are a pain in the ass.
Exactly, but no, they were very good videos. But I will be watching the dark memes one after the show because it sounds really funny. Actually, now you talk.
Yeah, it's all like video game memes. It's great. It's really funny, and so basically what I did was I had my wife go on video game on Reddit our video game memes, and I'm like, just pick a shit ton of these. Don't show them to me. Just send them to me one at a time on camera, and I want this to be as organic as possible. And some of them are awesome. It's just like it just was a good video. It's like I said, it's a shame that it just did not get the traffic, but it is what it is. It's I have plenty of those videos. What did Indie Game say? Vlogs are tough for smaller channels. You need a hot topic or product at the center in the title to help. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I know. That's why I said I'm bad at it. I try my best. I just don't know how to play the game.
Most people are. It's just hard to know what to do for the best because like Indie's channel, he literally, as the description says, the indie gamer. He covers indie games, so that's kind of what he covers. So you got to have a niche, but it's finding a happy medium,
right?
What you want to do and what people want to watch as well. You see, Indy just said he's no expert. He's just putting his opinions in. You know.
No, and trust me, Indy, I appreciate it because, like I said, I'll be the first to tell you I'm probably not the best at it. So, any advice would be awesome. Sounds like I'm doing awesome. I sometimes am doing awesome. I don't know. It's when you're looking at daily, when you're constantly opening up that stupid app on your phone with YouTube Studio and all that.
Terrible. I don't even think the analytics in it are correct all the time. Because sometimes when I look at them analytics and I go in on the laptop says it's higher than the actual app. It's weird. It is, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
And now you've got the old YouTube Studio is gone now from on the website. You've got to use a new Creator Studio. That's it.
Yep.
It's gone.
I know.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, and you know what really pissed me off was that they didn't even the reason I hated the new studio so much is that they didn't tell me they don't tell you that it wasn't fully supported in Safari. So I'm like, why does this suck so much? And I opened up Chrome and I'm like, oh, I have all my features again. Like, why didn't you just tell me it doesn't work in Safari? And why wouldn't you patch it for one of the top 3 most used browsers like in the world? Like that's the other thing I found dumb about it is like it's like I feel like the most used browsers are Chrome, Firefox, and Safari, and one of the 3 it doesn't even work in right. So
strange that is. Well, UK does reckon you can still use the classic, but I've looked and I didn't think it was there anymore.
They got rid of the classic. Yeah,
I think they're rolling it out. Maybe his is still appearing, but I'm pretty sure that they are planning on removing it completely. That's what they've said. It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone for me. I think April 1st it was gone.
Oh, okay. Welcome, Star United. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh my God! You can't hear this on your end, but I got to close Discord on my computer because all I'm getting are chirps in my ear.
Oh, right. Classic can only be used on uploads. Indie Gamer's saying. So
Okay, good to know. Because I also use TubeBuddy, and that didn't.
Do you pay for that?
I do, yeah. I pay, I think, like $4.50 a month for it.
Oh.
I like it because just the thumbnail generator saves me a lot of time. I guess I could theoretically just continue doing it in like my photo editing app. I don't use Photoshop. I use GIMP, which is like a free open source.
You said it.
So it gets the job done.
GIMP.
Yep.
There's been a lot of jokes about people saying that word on this show.
Oh, really?
Associated with masks. There's a lot of people joking in the chat, if you get what I mean.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I definitely know. No, I don't personally know the GIMP suit, but I know the GIMP suit.
No, that's a very good program. I don't actually really know how to work it. I've tried. I have. I just got to put more work into it.
As with everything, self-taught. I just kind of tooled around with it until I figured it out.
Exactly. That's a good point, actually. What software and kick through that, if you don't mind?
No, it's okay. So I started using Macs exclusively like 10 years ago when I went to school for audio production, and basically the whole audio tour runs on Mac. And from there, I kind of never went back to Windows. I mean, I still have PCs, of course, but for my everyday computer, I just love Mac OS. But I started editing with iMovie, which comes free with every Mac. And once I kind of like hit the features wall on it and I kind of mastered it, I want to do more stuff. I shouldn't admit this, but I got Final Cut Pro, which is Apple's video editing program, for free through certain avenues. I didn't pay for it.
Do stuff don't worry about it.
And the lovely thing about applications on a Mac is that, unlike installing something on my PC, the application doesn't install the same way. The application is inside its own package, and you just move it to your applications folder. So you don't need a serial to activate it. It's just there and it just works. And so it was very easy. It's very easy to get their professional software for free. If not, I probably would have been using something else, but theirs is the easiest to pirate, to be honest with you. So I've been using Final Cut Pro now for a couple of years, and it gets the job done, and I don't have to pay for it. So that being said, that's what I use. And video editing really kind of came naturally to me because I was already had an education and background in audio editing, and the fundamental idea is the same. You're cutting stuff up and putting it together, and it was it made it pretty easy. And it also made having an audio background. I also made me focus on the quality of audio with my videos. I always cared more about the quality of the audio than I cared about the quality of the video. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I don't know. I always hate when you watch a video and the audio sucks. So, in fact, I kind of miss doing audio, and now I'm starting to do one video a month where I take a classic 8-bit or 60-bit song, and I'm going to like rewrite like guitar and drums and bass and re-record it with and include some of the original like synth from the classic game. And I'm going to do one of those videos a month and record that song. And I actually have on my Patreon, I pick 4 songs every month, and all my patrons can vote for which one they want. And right now, the poll that just ended, Dragon Quest theme won, which is a pain in my ass because that song is complex. But nonetheless, I have to do it. So I'm currently writing guitar parts for the Dragon Quest main theme song to record for a video coming up soon. Indie uses Final Cut too. Oh, yeah, it's pretty. Final Cut's pretty awesome. Yeah, Apple's professional suite of software. It's they don't let you down. So
yeah, that sounds good. I mean, because I think you've recently, in the past few weeks, you've got a new intro, haven't you?
Yeah, that's kind of what gave me the idea. Was I missed having an intro. My original intro I was using was by another YouTuber who does the same concept. He does like retro game covers, and I messaged him years ago. I was like, "Hey, I really like your stuff. Could I use one of your songs in the intro for my channel?" I'm like, "I could pay you if you want." He said, "No." He's like, "Please use it. Just give me credit." And I did that, but the intro was like 30 seconds long. People were
Oh,
bitching about the intro on my videos. I'm like, all right, fine. I'm like, no more intros on my videos. But I was like, I miss having an intro with this like a quick, snappy intro. So I started looking for. I went on a video game MIDI website and just started listening to like songs that I thought would be cool to like do a 10-second like clip of. And I came across Batman, the first Batman for NES from like '89, and I listened to the level one song, and I'm like, dude, this would be so awesome with like real guitar and drums and bass. And I tracked it, and I was like, oh, this is sweet. I'm like, now let me just go into Final Cut and build like an opening graphic, and I did that. And so yeah, that intro is all me, every little aspect about it. So the music, the graphics. And it was just like it was one of those things where I had no idea what I was doing with the graphics. I literally learned how to do motion graphics like that night in Final Cut, like taking like animations that have chroma key green behind it and making them move across the screen and all that stuff. So yeah, that's why it looks so janky. It's because I figured it out that night. So
as well, it's definitely good. You know what you're doing editing wise. I think you and Indie Gamer would have very good conversations.
yeah, no, Indy, I would love
Because
to.
Indie's very good at content creation and editing, especially with Apple products. He seems to know his stuff.
Indy says I had a similar situation to you. Used Max, used iMovie for a while, then needed more than what iMovie offered. Then upgraded. It was definitely happy with it. Yeah, dude, it's great. But yeah, Indy, we should definitely touch base afterwards because I would probably pick your brain about a lot of stuff, and I'll have to check out your stuff too because I'm always looking for inspiration and camaraderie and colleagues in the YouTube space. So it'd be great just to have someone to work with and toss ideas around when it comes to editing. So, but yeah, I don't know. What else? What else, my friend?
Right. I know you're probably going to say you're not the best person to ask this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
What's the key to giving your video the best chance to success in this fierce YouTube game?
Oh my God. I literally wrote down on this, I have no clue. Uh, um, no, seriously, though, the whole YouTube game is like, it's something I haven't quite figured out. I think we've already talked about this a lot actually in this conversation, but, and it's just like, if I just stuck to what succeeds on my channel, then it would be great. And I think I would do a lot better, but I don't think I'd be able to put out as much content because I can't keep ordering controllers. I can't order 4 controllers a month. I think I talked about that actually in my small YouTube struggles video I put out, which was kind of risky to put out a video like that, but I just kind of
Yeah,
felt
I
like
like that. I did.
you like that one.
Yes, I did. Because I thought he's been looking at the Stubzcast. I thought he's making a video. I was like,
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Like that video, you probably influenced me to make it. To be honest with you,
maybe. I don't know.
I wanted to just kind of like put it out there and just be open and honest and transparent and just explain that like, look, this is what we're going through and it's hard um and I got a little bit, I got a lot of support from it, but I got a little bit of backlash, and it is what it is. I can't expect everyone to love me for what I said. But it's, and because I talked about the monetary aspect of it. I'm like, it's expensive when you're not making any money, and I would love to be able to order 4 controllers a month to review. That would be awesome because that's obviously what people like to watch sometimes. And I would love to do more videos where I just go on and do store tours and game hunting. But it's it just kind of sucks because it costs. Unfortunately, I'm not loaded. I'm not super wealthy, so I can't unfortunately fund it the way I would love to personally. I'm sure that'd be a lot easier. It's always funny too, because I always say, like, if I won the lottery, what's the first thing I would do? It's like pay off my debts and then do YouTube professionally, because then I can just fund it myself. It doesn't. It doesn't matter.
You could do. You're right.
Then I can do whatever I want on YouTube. I can hire a crew, and because at that point I don't care about the money. I can fund it and I can do what I want. So it's like the whole point is that, like, I think people misunderstood that the issue is that it costs money to make the videos I like to make, and that's what's hard about it, is that I wish I could personally fund it more, because I don't expect anything from anybody. I really don't expect anything from anybody. It was just a personal struggle where it's like, I wish I could afford to do more of the stuff that people like. And so that's why it's like, maybe that's why there's so much variety, is because I got to fill the holes with other things. That at the same time, I'm not just going to put out, like, filler videos at the same time. I try to put a lot of thought into my topics or the idea of the video. But what is Indy said? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, like, cut myself off there, but I'm just reading the comments. Sounds to me like you're doing awesome, bud, and I'm no expert, but hashtag small creators unite. Yes, thank you. We shall unite. But
yeah, I mean, I'll have to go and have a look at the comments on that video. I didn't realize you faced a backlash. I don't see a need for it, to be honest.
It wasn't the. So I'm not going to call anybody out, but a guy
you didn't put it on Reddit, did you?
No.
Oh
no! I will never put any of my stuff on Reddit. Screw Reddit.
Sorry.
It's man, you're asking for like a public lynching if you put your videos on Reddit. Yeah, I learned the hard way with that. No, you know what? It was someone in Discord messaged me directly, and just at first he really did not like the idea of that video, because I talked about money and the like, and we talked about it and everything was fine afterwards. But it's just one of those things where it's just like there was more to that video than just the money, and I just kind of feel like that I think stuck out to certain people, and I'm like, that was really just one aspect. It was a lot. I feel like most of the video was just about, like, the grind and the way YouTube functions and the lack of attention that YouTube is, like, helps you get, and it was just about all of it going into it. That was just the whole money thing was just one little part of it, but I don't know. I feel like that keeps becoming the focus of it. But I kind of like that you give me the platform now to explain a little bit deeper what I meant by it. The whole money thing is that if I could afford it myself, I would never even ask for a penny with, like, Patreon, because if I had the money to do all this, I would do everything I could to make the most awesome videos. So, like I said earlier, when you asked the question, it's really, the goal right now is just to make more money to put back into the channel. So I don't know. I'm just trying to build the brand, build the product, and make something that people enjoy. That's all I care about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a good explanation. I mean, money's. I mean, see, because of the way your channel is, because you do, like, game hunting and controller reviews. It's not like go on Game Pass and review games, like, or buy. Do you see what I mean? Because you're doing vlogging, it's slightly different, and doing game review,
right?
Because as you've said, controllers do well for you. But it's not like you can go and buy every single one on the market. You know what I mean? I don't think your wife would be too impressed.
No, I know. I think I actually said that in the video. I'm like, she'd be so pissed if $150 of just crappy controllers from China were showing up at her house every month. It's like out of pocket. She's like, that's a trip to the grocery store.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, people just got to realise, these big, because you will get to the point where you actually get offered controller companies ask you, can you review our controller?
I've gotten one.
UK Dazza has had one as well. They sent him a controller or something like that, and he reviewed it. He did.
My God, yeah, and thank God the controller didn't suck, because I would have felt really bad trashing on the first sponsored video.
You're supposed to be honest, yeah. So you don't want to feel like you're faking it either, just because they've sent it for you for free.
Yeah, and I actually even said that in the video. I'm so thankful this controller doesn't suck. So I would have felt really bad ragging on this controller in the review. So, but you know what's funny actually is that I have a sub that said to me, you should go back and do a review of all of the controllers that you've reviewed in a video, and for like when you hit 1,000 subs, and just talk about which ones you still like and hate and all that. And I'm like, yeah, it's a great idea. So last weekend I went to go film it, and I ran into some like technical issues. So I'm like, all right, well, this isn't happening today. Then on Sunday I filmed it. All the audio was messed up on it. I'm
Yeah,
like, this is a,
did you tweet about it?
yeah. I'm like, this video is not happening. I'm not doing it. I don't care anymore. Like, I feel bad because they asked me about it. And I even I talked to them directly. Look at it. I appreciate you want this, and I want to give this to you. I'm like, but the whole idea of this video is making me so angry now because I can't get it. So I'm like, I think the topic is cursed and it's not going to happen. So
I see your point after all that, you think, why bother? It's obviously not meant to be,
And it's really funny because the next day I said to Anna, we were watching TV. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I'm just gonna do a video for this week that is something that I have been thinking about for a long time that I really care about. And it was the reason why they should delay PS4 and Xbox Series X. And then I get attacked for that video. So, like, I was like trying to like stick to my convictions with that video. I'm like, you know what? I should just do a video from the heart this week and talk about something that like I really care about. That's something that's important to me. So I've been thinking about, and then like it totally like blows up in my face. So funny how that works out. Maybe it just wasn't my week for YouTube.
Yeah, well, you've obviously got you got people talking anyway. I know it was negatively, but it was only one guy though. It weren't everyone. Or was it two?
There was so I don't remember because I got the funny thing about it. I had more thumbs down at first than thumbs up. Right now,
I tell you.
Yeah. And then I think I posted the video in a Facebook group, and the reaction there was really bad too. And I'm like, this video is gone. It's not gone, but I'm like, I want to pretend it doesn't exist because it just sucks because you watched and you liked it and you agreed.
I did like it, and I do agree. I mean, if you got to look at the way the world is at the minute.
Exactly.
People are losing their jobs, or people are the companies are closing for a few months and that and reopening, or no one knows what's really happening. The economies are going to be bad in America and all over the world. Really, is it really a time to bring out a new £500 dollar or whatever console?
Right.
Not really, because even if you can get the numbers up, are you really going to sell all them consoles? Will people be thinking, oh, I need to really get this console, or are they going to be thinking, how do I pay my bills? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't think it's very responsible for them to release a console. But if they do, I think it would be in like a small amount if they do release them.
Yeah, and honestly, the reason it'll be a small amount is because of lack of manufacturing. I mean, it's even Nintendo came out the other day and said that they're not going to be shipping Switches to Japan because they can't manufacture enough. They're only going to ship out to the West right now.
Oh, okay.
And there's such a shortage on the Switch already as it is. It's just like they started reopening manufacturing in China, but they can't it's not at 100%, and they're just not able to get the numbers to where they need to be. With a console release, usually for like a November release, manufacturing for that stuff usually begins in like June.
Exactly. The problem is though, from what I've read, that the business insiders people, apparently the big Chinese outfits they've been recommending for the big, the people who produce all the stuff, the big factories in China.
Yeah.
They just produce PPE kit, safety equipment, and ventilators as
exactly
the biggest money tickets, and they forget the electronics because you make the most money out of the ventilators and the PPE gear. Well, that's their recommendations. I'm not saying that's what's happening.
Yeah.
They're saying the world can't get enough ventilators and PPE kit at the moment, so it would make sense, wouldn't it?
Exactly. Yep, and I think I mentioned that in the video, and I think I that is the only thing I made a mistake on. Is I think I quoted it as that's what they are doing, not that's what they were recommended to do.
It
So
was recommended. I don't think they actually were told to do it. You know,
gotcha.
I think
So
it's advice. So whether they took that advice, I don't know.
So the only thing that I did wrong in that video, no one even noticed. Good, awesome.
I didn't notice it. Yeah.
But anyways, oh man. So what's next on the agenda?
Oh, have you got anything else you want to talk about? Or has the community got any questions they'd like to ask in chat?
Yeah, let's do some questions. Because we're almost at 2 hours. Wow, that was fun. This went by quick.
1 hour 50 minutes it says on there.
Yeah.
The clock. I know Indie Gamer might have one. I'll be surprised if he doesn't.
I'm just going to the chat is massive. This is awesome.
Favorite drink?
My favorite drink. Oh man. So it depends on the time of day. I'm a big coffee drinker. Usually coffee in the morning, coffee right about it's almost 6 p.m. my time. So usually I have a cup of coffee before dinner. I'm a big cherry Coke Zero fan. I usually have that's usually my dinner. I want dinner and then that's usually one caffeine doesn't bother me, so I can drink like a whole can of Coke Zero before bed and I'll go to bed just fine. But that and then alcohol wise, I like funny enough, I like Corona. And I like tequila. Big fan of Mexican alcoholic beverages. So
well, I tell you what, you bring up that Corona beer, and I actually read a while back, and it was a true statistic that Corona beer sales had dipped 10% in America because people believed it was associated with coronavirus.
How stupid!
I can't believe that. But apparently, the Corona beer company actually said that their sales dropped when this coronavirus came out. People actually thought they might get coronavirus. How thick are people?
Oh my god, that is unbelievable. Favorite food during quarantine? Wow, that's a good question. Peanut butter. I don't know, man.
Can you get bread?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, we can get bread. Corona just means crown in Spanish. Well, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I've been doing this whole low carb, no carb thing for 2 years. And spam sandwiches, that's awful. I'm sorry. Removable Sandy said that. And I don't know if you guys have in the UK or not, but there's so many manufacturers that make low carb to no carb tortillas, flatbreads, actually loaves of bread that have no net carbs in them. So you cannot tell the difference between it's made with almond flour instead. And when we get our groceries delivered every week, I order 4 loaves of that bread, and they have no problem bringing it to me. So honestly, the low carb bread is actually so passable as real bread. My kids don't even know the difference. So
I'm not. I'll be honest. I'm not sure on that question. We have brown bread and stuff like that, but I don't know.
No, it's especially it's intentionally made for people that are doing keto or low carb or stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, I was dude, back when you found me Review Tech USA era,
yeah,
fuck, I was massive. I was working IT for 4 years, not moving. I put on so much weight, and once I started doing videos, and my kids were I had 2 kids. I'm you know what? I start taking care of myself. So I think I've lost 70 or 80 pounds in the last 2 years, which is
really good. Well done.
Yeah,
I need to do the same actually, really, because I'm a bit big, but to be honest.
I don't think I've ever seen what you look like. Not that you have to show me. I just realized that, but
I'll send you a photo after the show.
Yeah, you should just let me put a face to the voice. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just like, and I still do it, and so like obviously occasionally I'll cheat, like when we do the Pop-Tart videos, but even then, like if you notice in the videos, I only have enough to like review it. I'm not like I'm not mowing them down. So but it was just, for me, I feel like low carb was super easy because with that kind of diet, you're cutting out your breads and your pasta and your sugars, but there's so many options out there for like substitution of that. Like I said, they make low carb bread and low carb tortillas, and they make low carb ice cream. Even like Breyers makes that. It's like it's not as thick. It doesn't have like that super creamy thickness of regular ice cream, but like it fills the void. You know what I mean? And I can eat all the fattening food I want, and it's because I'm not actually eating as many calories because of it. So like, I love chicken wings, so I eat a shit ton of chicken wings. I love chicken wings. So
see, that's the thing. I mean, I heard that in America it's very easy to buy low carb of everything. Is that true?
Yeah.
See, in Britain, how it works is basically it doesn't make. Is the low carb food reasonably priced in America? Is it not normal price?
It's reasonably priced. I mean, obviously, it's a little bit of it's a little bit more expensive.
Because here, all the crap food's cheap, and all the good food for you is expensive.
Yes, exactly. That's how it always is. So obviously, I pay a premium.
It's more low, from what I understand. I've looked. There's more low carb food offered in America of everything than there is in Britain.
Yeah, it's funny. Like the States are a funny place because yes, we have like such an obesity issue, but there's a drastic like counter to that where there's like such a health obsession too, where like everyone wants, like there's so many people that want to exercise and be healthy and eat right, and there's all these diets, and so I feel like it's like everyone is either really fat or like in really good shape or trying to be in really good shape. So
it's really funny at the moment over here, I mean, but it seems to me that since this lockdown's happened, I have never seen so many people walking their bloody dogs, going for walks, running, and cycling. They're everywhere, and I mean everywhere. The people are. They just come out of the woodwork to get out of the house, but a lot of them, I'll be honest, they're doing it more than once a day, and a lot of them, I mean, they say you should only do like cycling within your household. There's gangs of cyclists going around in groups of 15 of them. Well, you don't all live in the same house, do you?
No, that's just dumb. But yeah,
and they're not 6 foot apart on the road. You know what I mean? They're all a lot of them where I live, because I live out in the countryside. Yeah, they like to, when you drive in your car, they go to, and there's no laws on it, but they like to go 2 or 3 abreast, and they're not having a full on conversation while they're cycling.
Oh my god!
And you in the end you overtake them, but it's quite frustrating. We have a lot of, where I live, a lot of we get hundreds of cyclists come to do the cycle classics and that, but not right. In a minute. It's all cancelled. All that is, but everyone's popped up everywhere doing all these fitness stuff and groups of people. But our area, the groups have stopped because the police are stopping people now and telling them to go home. They are.
They should. It's
they haven't dished out fines as such because they've said they don't want to. But if we ask where you're going, don't be offended. And if we don't think it's essential, all we will ask you to do is go home. And if we find you out loads of times, arresting you and fining you is a last resort. It is. But yeah, no, I just thought I'd bring that up because there seems to be a health kick in Britain at the minute.
Very much so. Yeah, it's
people want to get out there.
It's every day we go out, like we walk, we run around. Especially like my daughter and I, like we'll walk like through the neighborhood, and we come to this one part where she just like we'll just run in a circle, and so we're both just like winded, and then we walk back home, and like stuff that we never would have done. We never would have thought about it. We're just bored out of our minds. So people are being active. What's funny actually is that you mentioned that about the people in groups outside is one thing I didn't have my camera on when I was in that vlog about leaving the house. I drove past one of our local parks, and the tennis courts were filled with people playing tennis.
Oh,
I'm
that
like,
wouldn't be a bad idea. The police would have
this
shut
has got to
down.
be I'm like, this should be against, like, I didn't understand. And the funny thing is that all like the play structures, like the swing sets, the jungle gyms, and all that, were all roped off with like yellow police tape. But
Oh, okay.
but the tennis courts were full of people playing tennis. I'm like, this has got to be.
The idea that they're 6 foot apart, but were they playing doubles?
They were playing doubles. Yeah.
Oh well, they can't get away with it then. But
I know.
really, that shouldn't be classed as exercise. I think what they mean is go for a walk, not go. Yeah, because the tennis courts would be. Yeah, I don't see how that works.
It seems a little risky.
It does. It does. It's a crazy, crazy world. It is.
Starbuck United said for Easter, Texas closed all public parks. Yeah.
See,
preventing Easter egg hunting gathering. Yeah, I mean, you have to. That makes perfect sense.
In parks, is it like, see, in Britain, in parks, well, where I am, you just walk into the park, but when they say closed, do they have like parks you walk into and there's gates that you can lock?
So it's kind of like an honor system per se. There's a lot of like each city's park. There's usually there's a driveway where you can pull in and park your car, and then you can go into the park, and they'll have facilities and things like that. So it's kind of like an honor system. They'll signs up, and some of them do have a gate. They'll just close and chain up, but you could theoretically just walk from your house, and just walk into it. That they didn't put up fencing. It's
I see. I just wondered if it was different. That was all.
Yeah, no, they just expect you not to be an idiot and follow the rules. So.
Oh, exactly. I would have thought, but yeah, there are. I mean, where I live in my county, they've said the majority of people are doing, as they should be, But recently, we've had a load of vandalism. Recently, people, I don't know if the kids or youths, well, teenagers like 19, I don't know, but they've been going around vandalising all the children's play equipment, spray painting it all, and that's unheard of. And that's unheard of where we live. So, it's bad. I know the kids can't use it, but that kind of stuff doesn't happen around here,
Right.
But, you've got to find someone called Fruity Jake.
What, Fruity Jake?
Yeah, that's what one of the signs says, Fruity Jake on it.
Oh, who's that?
But it's just, despicable. Parks are full of stone. It probably is pissheads doing it, to be fair, Daz.
Yeah. Starbucks said fishing areas are closed too. Oh, that sucks. So
fishing's been banned here too. I got some people I know that like fishing, and they're all shut down. They are, even though that when you fish, you're nowhere near anyone.
Exactly. Yeah, fishing in Michigan, fishing hasn't been stopped. A buddy of mine, he's like, dude, I've been doing so much fishing. I feel like I'm on summer vacation right now. So, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they close that. They also, golf is actually still allowed in Michigan and Ohio, the state right below us. Their golf courses are open because theoretically golf, your tee times are every 6 minutes or so to spread everybody out. So theoretically golf, you really are very much isolated as long as you're not holding up, the golfers behind you. So
I see what you mean, but yeah, it's a crazy world. Have you got anything else you want to propose? If we keep talking about this subject, we could be here all night, couldn't we?
I was going to say, and it's 6 o'clock and I'm starting to feel hungry for dinner.
Yeah. So do you want to tell people where they can get hold of you? And,
yes, absolutely.
And
yeah. So PunchNpie on YouTube, spelled just like you see there. And what does it say? Jeez, oh Pete, what am I? Got a Facebook page. I don't know if I feel like I have no followers on that. Got like 87 or something like that. I'm on Twitter. You can find me at Real PunchNpie, I think. Yeah, at Real PunchNpie. I'm literally on Twitter right now looking at it.
It's actually on the screen at the bottom if you look. There's a roll down there. Look, there you go. At Real PunchNpie.
There we go. So, and then I do have Instagram, and it's kind of it's my personal Instagram, but I still like share the link. I don't care. What is my Instagram though? Hold on a second. Let me go to Instagram. I'll tell you. I feel like I get way more attention on stuff on Instagram. I almost feel like I should start like putting like clips of my videos on Instagram.
I'm actually on Instagram as well.
Are you?
Yeah. Only under the Stubzcast account.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, but you can't post links on there unless you've got 10,000 followers. You can't. So you got to find unique ways of people finding your videos, like put the custom.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so can I talk in the chat, or am I not allowed to?
Wait a minute. Well, say hi in the chat, and I'll make it so you can post your links. Just say hi in the chat, and I'll do it so you can.
It won't let me because I'm not logged in.
Oh well, okay. Have you got your phone on you? You could do it that way. Oh, he's disappeared. He's disappeared. Where's he gone?
Okay, so I just figured out what happened. I clicked on the login, so I'm not logged in. Anyway, so yeah, Instagram is gonna be PunchNpie_Jordan. But this is what we'll do. What's the private chat?
Private chat? What's that? That's me and you.
Oh, is it? Okay, so I'll just copy the link and send it to you. And
that is actually, yeah, you do that.
And then look at this. We're finding solutions to everything. So you should have the private chat, and then
copy.
This is great.
All right. Copy. Comments.
And then that's me. Awesome.
Is it link worked? It should do because I'm on. Yeah, it has worked.
It doesn't work for me, but whatever. Because like I said, I'm not logged in. You just log in with like your existing YouTube account?
You have to stream on StreamYard, you actually have to have an account, but to have guests, they don't actually personally need a StreamYard account. And you don't have like how you set a password. You don't have one. What you do is you log in and you open up your email, it sends you a login code to log in.
Yes.
So your code's different every time if you've cleared your cookies and that. So that's how it works. But you don't as such need an account, but to actually stream and do your own broadcast, you do. But it's all free unless you want to pay.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm actually. And
Indie Gamer's dropped all your links for you.
Thank you.
He has.
I just created an account too.
It doesn't take long. Well, you could always go live one night on your channel and just talk to people.
Yeah, this is great. I like this.
Very easy, you know. Have any more links you want to drop or any more promote? I need to look at your face. Is it a Facebook page?
Yeah, it's a Facebook page.
I like it.
Yeah,
you know Ybot? He gets his most traction on streaming on Facebook. If you missed that episode, he talks about it.
Who was that?
Filthy Ybot 74 that I done a few weeks ago.
Oh.
He talks about it on the podcast because he went on camera and done his. And he streams through Facebook and he gets a lot of traction. He does. He gets quite a few people watching. Overnight, he get a few hundred people who've watched him. Not all at once, but he said the views are quite big.
That's awesome. All right.
Compared to what his YouTube channel gets, you know.
Yeah. You know, I was also considering uploading my videos to Facebook also. Just instead of just sharing the YouTube link as a post on Facebook, actually uploading it to the PunchNpie page. Obviously, like it'll take away a few views on YouTube because people just watch on there, but theoretically, it could bring in more followers. So,
They could do, because there is actually there is a monetization program on Facebook. Actually, you have to have so many likes and not likes, followers.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
but it's not as the criteria is not as big as YouTube.
YouTube. No one's as insane as YouTube's is.
So, right, thanks for joining me this week. I really appreciate it. I know it's been a long time in the making.
Very much. Yeah, we've been talking about this for a while, I feel like.
Exactly. So, I remember when I first invited you on a fair few weeks ago, you're like, oh, I can't do that. And I was just like, let me know when you can. So I messaged you like, yeah, I'm in quarantine. I've been in the house like for weeks.
Yeah.
Just let me come on.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me. This was awesome. I really enjoyed this. I think this was probably my first like real podcast I've ever done. And this I was not a bumbling idiot as I expected myself to be. So
no, you done really well.
Yeah.
Wow. The chat seems to have enjoyed it.
That's great. Yeah, thank you guys in the chat. I do appreciate your involvement, and I hope you enjoyed this. I got nothing else to say because I'm not good at being nice. So.
All right, thanks everyone. Stubzcast should be back. We'll be back next weekend. Should be the same time, but I've got to speak to Mr. UK Daz to make sure if he does a Daz cast that we don't clash. So I've got to negotiate with Daz. I do not want to clash with you. Right, thanks everyone.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.